Hi guys, my name is Marie and welcome to my Kawaii world. So if you watch my channel, you know that I love going to Korean cafes. They are the best. I know that you guys can't all fly to Korea and go to these places, so I'm going to show you how to make 5 different Korean cafe inspired drinks at home. They do require a little more work than your typical coffee, but if you want to kind of experience that Korean cafe in your house, then you might want to give these a try. And I have one snack that's pretty popular in Korea and I'll show you guys how to make that. It's really good. First, we're going to make this Butterfly Pea Tea citrus drink. The main ingredient is Butterfly Pea Tea, and I'm going to use this one by Teami Blends. It's actually a combination of Butterfly Pea Tea mixed with jasmine tea. If you guys want to get this, then check out my affiliate link in the description box below. I will earn a commission, which will help me to make more videos like this. This blue flower is the Butterfly Pea Tea, and then these little green things are the jasmine tea leaves. The plain Butterfly Pea Tea doesn't really have a distinct flavor, and it's also non-caffeinated, so the addition of the jasmine tea gives this tea a stronger flavor and a little dose of caffeine. So I took about 1 tablespoon of the Teami tea blend and I added about 1 cup of hot water, and you can see how the blue color is starting to come out of the tea itself. I'm going to let this steep for about 5 to 10 minutes, and then I'm going to add some ice to cool it down. This tumbler has a built-in tea strainer, so it's really nice. Thank you, Teami, for sending this to me for free. Okay, let's prepare the second part of the drink. You will need some sort of citrus base, and I'm going to use this Korean Hallabong Tea. It has sort of a jam-like consistency, but alternatively you can use lemonade or any other citrus drink. I'm also going to add a squeeze of fresh lemon juice to make sure that I get the proper reaction, and then I'm going to add the ice and mix everything up. So now we're going to go ahead and pour the Butterfly Pea Tea mixture over our citrus base, and I'm going to use a spoon to sort of act as a buffer between the tea and the citrus so that you can really see the gradient effect. The acidity of the lemon juice will actually change the blue tea to this beautiful bright purple color. If you don't want to get a bunch of dishes dirty, you can just make this tea mixture in your tumbler by adding a squeeze of lemon juice after the tea has been brewed. I want to give a big thank you to Teami for providing me with the tea I use in this video for free. They also gave me this cool tumbler. I feel so Instagram holding this. Next, we're going to make this amazing Dalgona latte. Dalgona is a traditional Korean street food made with sugar and baking soda. First, prepare a large tray or plate and cover it with parchment paper. Then take about 1/4 a cup of sugar and heat it over medium heat in a Teflon pan. You want to stir it continuously until all the sugar has melted, and keep stirring it because you don't want anything to stick to the pan and burn. Once all of the sugar has melted, you want to add about 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, and the sugar mixture is going to bubble up really quickly. When the mixture starts to bubble up, you want to immediately pour it onto the sheet of parchment paper that you have prepared and let it sit for about 5 to 10 minutes until it's cool. If you're like me, you might have to make this a couple of times because it burns really easily and really quickly. I don't think that you're supposed to have these dark spots that I had, but it ended up being okay. Now this part is optional. If you want to give your drink an extra shot of caffeine, you can prepare some coffee. I'm making espresso here. I have a LATTE mocha pot that I use to make espresso, nothing fancy. But this part is totally optional. It actually tastes great without the coffee, and that's how I prepare it for my kids. Now my Dalgona has pretty much cooled off, so I'm going to peel it off of the parchment paper, and then I'm going to use a spoon to break it up into small pieces. This is what it looks like up close, and if you just eat it by itself, it's kind of like eating a burnt brown sugar piece of candy. To make the drink, you need about 1 cup of milk, and then I'm going to top the milk with some crushed ice. You can also use regular ice. And then take a handful of Dalgona pieces and just sprinkle them on top of the milk. And make sure to add those teeny tiny little crumbs of Dalgona, and you will start to see them dissolve into these little brown swirly designs in your milk. Oh my gosh, I love burnt sugar, so this is my power drink. I think I like it better than the Tiger Sugar Boba. If you want to take it to the next level, then add a shot of espresso, and this just makes it amazing, and I don't share this one with my kids. Next, I'm going to show you how to make this really amazing fresh strawberry milk. We're going to start with 8 strawberries, and you want to cut off the stems and then chop up the strawberries into small pieces. Put the strawberries into a bowl and then use a wooden spoon to mash them up into small pieces. I know this sounds like a lot, but you're going to have to add 1/2 cup of sugar and a squeeze of lemon to the strawberry mixture and then mix it all up. Continue to stir and mash up the strawberries until you have something that's almost like strawberry jam. It's okay if there are a few chunks in there. Then pour everything into a saucepan and cook it over medium heat until the strawberry mixture starts to bubble up and boil. After it boils, you want to turn off the stove and pour the strawberry mixture into a jar or container, set it aside and let it cool down. Next, take 6 strawberries and chop them up into tiny pieces. We have enough to serve about 2 people. First, you're going to take half of the strawberry jam and pour it into the bottom of a cup. Then take your strawberries and pour half of those into the cup on top of the jam. Then add about 1 cup of milk and mix everything up so that the strawberry jam is nice and dispersed throughout the drink. And your strawberry milk is ready. In Korea, we call this a strawberry latte, even though it doesn't contain coffee. If you watch my channel, you know that I love Taiwanese fruit tea, so I had to figure out how to make it at home. You're gonna need a black tea, and this is my black tea of choice, but you can use any tea that you like, really. So you want to prepare your tea, steep it in water, and let it sit for about 5 minutes. Next, you want to cut up some fruit to put in your drink. I'm using apple, tangerine, and passion fruit, and normally I just use apple and tangerine, but I happened to find fresh passion fruit in the store, so I bought a box of it, and this passion fruit is so amazing. But normally I don't make it with passion fruit. It's really hard to find and it's kind of expensive. You can actually use anything you have on hand that's pretty fresh. So for example, strawberries or oranges also work nicely with this. In Taiwan, they use a pineapple jam to make the tea, but I don't have that, so I'm going to use my Hallabong tea. If you don't have this, you can probably also use yuzu tea or any type of citrus jam, just something that will sweeten the tea and have a fruity flavor. Then you're going to pour in your black tea mixture and add the rest of your fruits. Then add a whole bunch of ice to make sure that it's nice and cold, and mix it all up, and it's ready to drink. You can adjust the sweetness by adding more or less pineapple jam or Hallabong tea mixture. Another popular drink in Korea is passion fruit-ade, and this is really nice and refreshing for a hot summer day. I'm going to scoop the other half of the passion fruit that I had into this cup, and if you haven't had passion fruit before, it's really tart. So we're going to need to add some sugar to this. I'm adding 2 tablespoons of simple sugar syrup, and you can make this by combining equal parts of sugar and water and heating it until it boils. Next, add a good helping of ice, and then you're going to need plain sparkling water, and just fill up that whole cup with sparkling water. This next part is optional, but if you have any lime on hand, I would recommend adding a squeeze of lime to the passion fruit-ade. It'll give it a really nice refreshing scent. Sienna decided to garnish our drink with a fresh slice of tangerine that I had left over from my fruit tea. Lastly, I have this delicious on butter cookie. You will need any type of plain cracker. I'm just using these Korean Ace crackers that are really cheap and buttery. You're going to need a block of butter, and you want to slice it up into thin but not too thin pieces, kind of like this. Then you're going to take that little block of butter and place it right on top of the cookie. And you also need this sweet red bean jam. You can buy this in any Asian supermarket. And then just take a scoop of that and put it on top of the butter. In Korea, we call these types of desserts ong butter, and you can find them sometimes in a biscuit or in between 2 slices of a baguette, or sometimes in between 2 cookies like this. And it's such a delicious and rich, decadent dessert. I know that it seems insane to eat that much butter, but it's so good. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Make sure to check the link in the description box if you want to purchase any Teami teas. Use my affiliate code and it will help me out, so I will get a small commission from that. Also, let me know if you guys end up making any of these recipes at home, and let me know what you like to make for a home cafe.